a video on authentic travel yesterday. I'm only on my second cup of coffee. I'm not all prettied up yet, but I just had to jump on because so I was trying to help people with authentic travel and giving advice about where to get advice since I have traveled for 20 years full-time solo traveling in 34 countries. So I know some things. So part 2, authentic travel, is this. Be very careful who you listen to, because in response to a post I did on Nextdoor, which I was giving people an idea about 5 stress-free, no crowds cities in Europe to check out, all I got was negative comments. And you could tell from the comments that none of the commenters had been to the places I was recommending. So they have no experience in those places. So this is what you're going to find. Thirsty Traveler, Sophie, I'm so glad you're here. Join on in, Sophie. Coffee with Mary. Now, I'm so glad you came on, Sophie, because I love you. You're a fellow world traveler, and I was just talking about, and maybe you've experienced this too, that you try to tell people stuff that's true about your travels, but they know a lot more about it, even though they've never been to that country, ever. But they heard from someone that there were pickpockets in Palermo. I just did this post on Nextdoor with 5 towns in Europe that were stress-free with no crowds, and all I got was negative comments. Like, and you know, these people that live in this area, in the heart of Silicon Valley, have wealth, can travel, and I'm sure I have more experience than most people that live here because of my own solo travels around the world for 20 years. When you travel full-time, you get a lot of experience. And maybe you've had this happen too, Sophie, where you try to tell people about something that you just did. You were just in a country last week and know a little bit about it, but they know a lot more about it because they've never been there. They heard from someone. So the point I want to make to people is when you're telling people about your plans, pretty much 100% don't listen. Because people like to advise. I mean, I do consultations for travel itineraries and lead people in retreats around the world. In fact, my Sicily retreat is full. The 4th person just signed on. Thank you, Lori. And everybody's from California. It's really cool. 4 women. So I wanted to make the point that you have to be careful who you get your advice from, because with ChatGPT and people wanting to sound smart with no experience whatsoever, they've never been to that country, they don't know a thing about it. You have to be careful. Hi, Candyman. I'm glad you came over. So I'm just talking about how when you're solo, well, you could be any kind of traveling, solo, group, family, whatever. Don't listen to people that don't have any experience. I mean, I'm shocked. I don't talk about places that I don't have experience in. So the fact that I went to Palermo 8 times, and I'm recommending it as a city to go to, but the person made a comment, they have excellent pickpockets there. It's like, well, they don't really have violent crime like the United States does. I had an answer for her. But I don't need to prove my experience and my worth. It's all online. I don't need to. I can tell right away when people they don't have the experience, because to make a comment like that, it's like, were you there for an hour or were you not there because you just know someone who went there for 5 minutes? Okay, fine, don't go. I'm just trying to help people. So, Candyman, yeah. See, you know it. So, be careful who you get advice from. And, it's true with anything. There's a lot of intellectuals and geniuses here in Silicon Valley. And sometimes people can be arrogant about what they think they know, even when they don't, and they don't have any experience. But because they're saying it in this very overly confident, arrogant tone of voice, people can actually believe them. So, there's so much stuff flying around that isn't even true. So, what I would recommend, particularly with travel, is to talk to someone you have trust and that has actually done what you want to do. I cannot stress this enough. Talk to people, and even if they're not a professional travel advisor, talk to people that have gone to places, not people that have heard about places. You want the direct experience, and you can't always get that with travel professionals. They don't go everywhere. So what I offer people in my consultations is only places, I can recommend only places where I've been, and I've been to quite a few places. I've bought one-way tickets going around the whole world 5 times, made a complete circumference. And you get a lot of experience doing that. Hi, great ocean liner. I'm glad you came over. We're just talking about traveling the world and who not to listen to, even if they sound like they know what they're talking about. Sure, there's a possibility you could get pickpocketed in Europe, but I'll tell you how to not get pickpocketed right now. Here's what you do, and I've never been pickpocketed in Europe, so I know what I'm talking about. Be aware of your surroundings. Listen to your gut. Your skin often tells you before you even notice. Oh, that coffee's good. Wear a crossbody bag. I have a little crossbody bag that goes on me when I get on an international flight, and it doesn't come off until I get to the hotel. So I've got the stuff that I need inside my jacket, basically. I wouldn't recommend a fanny pack because that can be gotten into a little bit easier than a crossbody bag. Unless, I guess, you want to wear a fanny pack on your front, but that kind of gets in your way, I think. So crossbody bag and being super aware. I mean, the thing about traveling is you train yourself to be super aware because you're noticing all these new things. But don't let yourself get distracted. That's where problems happen. By some gypsy child running up to you. By scam, like around the Colosseum in Rome, there's these guys dressed as Roman, whatever you call it, Roman warriors with the full gear on for a picture. They just want your money. So anybody that just walks up to you is usually suspect if they want you to do anything related to money. Or there's, I heard about this one scam, it's never happened to me, where somebody squirts ketchup on you by accident, and then they try to help you get it cleaned off, and that's when they take all your stuff. But anyway, the thing about being pickpocketed, it's not like violent crime. It's not like worrying about your kids getting shot at school like we have here in the United States. People in Europe don't worry about that stuff. So being told that Palermo has pickpockets, oh, that's a brilliant observation. Wow, I didn't know that. After traveling for 20 years. Wow, educate me, please. I'm sure you know so much more because you don't travel, I can tell. Anyway, what I'm finding, the people that I consult with and bring on my photography retreats are interested in Italy and France. They want to explore Europe on a different level, not being in a huge bus tour. Ugh. I don't even want to be on a bus. Train, plane, walking, that's it. You know, a bus for an hour, okay, but a bus from the airport to your destination for an hour, okay. But, and the buses are much better in Europe, Mexico, Thailand, anywhere where I've taken buses, but I prefer trains. You know, and I just bought a high-speed train from northern Italy to southern Italy yesterday. And there it goes all the way from Venice, all the way to the tip of the heel of the boot in 9 hours. That's amazing. No changes. So it's going pretty fast. Leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, get to your destination at 4 in the afternoon, no driving. Wow. I'm shocked. Anyway, I've taken a lot of trains there. They're really fun. You get so comfortable, you don't even want to get off. Blake's life, I'm not sure what you mean, man, shut up, bro. I don't know if you are saying shut up to who, but if it's me, then maybe you should find another channel. Anyway, I just wanted to get on and talk to you about that because if you're planning any kind of travel, I know you experience people like Sophie, who's traveled so much all over the world, thirsty traveler, knows about this concept. But if you're just starting travel, you might listen to the wrong people and not go somewhere that's really amazing just because of some stupid person saying, oh, there's pickpockets in Palermo. Oh, really? What a brilliant observation. Amazing. Yeah, there are pickpockets in Europe, but you can avoid being pickpocketed. You know, and I know people who live in Italy and France, and you can learn a lot from the residents about how to be in a place in any country. That's why it's so important to not just be a tourist, to be a traveler and enjoy your trip. Nice, but what if they take B of A? I don't know what that means. BOFA. I don't know what that means. And then this other comment is held for review. What's that one? Okay. BOFA D's nuts. I don't know what that means. But anyway, so I just wanted to warn you about that because you can get the wrong information from people that don't know what they're talking about. Like the first time I went to Nepal to see my son, who was doing a volunteer project for there a long term, he was there several months. I got warned a million times not to go. Now there were some troubles going on at the time in Nepal. But, you know, once you get your ticket and you're going, like people telling you you shouldn't go and standing there giving you a long, have they ever been to Nepal? No, it's just something they heard in the news. So, you know, that's another thing about the news. Like I hear about, I was in Italy when that whole Barcelona thing blew up about people being pissed about the tourists. You know, I don't know how true that is. I mean, Often what happens is, it's like the California protests. There's one block of people protesting in all of Los Angeles, and they're not even being violent. They're being calm and peaceful, and then they might show one person and take it out of context. And then it's time to send in the National Guard. No, we actually peacefully protest here in California. I've done it myself. It is our right. So be careful where you get your information, because I'm getting all these comments from people that know nothing on this Nextdoor post when all I wanted to do was share some cities that I had discovered in Europe that are really wonderful without crowds. The first comment was, well, now everybody's going to go. It's like, and they're not going to be quiet anymore. One post like that on Nextdoor, which is a closed community, is not going to do that. Anyway, be careful out there, be safe, and don't really vet your sources. If you're going to do, especially if you're doing your own independent travel. Yeah, Sophie, Palermo I've been to 8 times, and it's a fascinating city. I think the food markets are incredible. There's 2 big ones. One's near the train station. And I like to stay near the train station because you can hop on the train and get to other places really quickly. I stayed in the historic center, and that was nice too, because it was on a street that didn't have traffic, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what Sophie said. I am sure it is. I saw your videos. Oh, Palermo. Yeah, so I would recommend Palermo. It's gritty, but the people are so nice. And there's all kinds of good stuff to eat. And the prices are pretty low for what you're getting, for the quality that you're getting. Like, you can walk in some local place on one of your walks and get the best arancini you've ever eaten in your life. It's pretty amazing. And then the cool thing about Palermo is it's close to a lot of different things, only an hour away from Cefalù. On the other side, I haven't been to Mondello, which is a very nice beach. I've seen the pictures in Trapani, in Marsala, all those places I haven't been to yet. But if you're in Palermo, you can get everywhere. You can get to Agrigento to see the Valley of the Temples, the Grecian, beautiful, preserved ruins that are more Greek than Greece. And they even have a restaurant there. I mean, these are posh. I think it was about $15, 15 euros for me to do that. My friend who I went with is a teacher, so her ticket was free. She's Italian. So if you can make friends with a local person, I found out a lot of good stuff about Italy from my friend Anna, who lives in Florence. And I met her at a meetup in Florence. So that's another way. Now, Florence is kind of special that way because those meetups have both people that live there and expats. You don't always find that in these meetup expat places where it has to be a certain kind of city to attract the actual local residents who want to meet expats and people that are coming that are travelers. So, yeah, one of my favorite things about Palermo is the food, the pastry. There's this pastry place in a nunnery right next to the beautiful sculpture made from the marble that Michelangelo used for his David. It's called the Fountain of Shame because it's all these marble nude statues and it's so beautiful. Oh my God. So it's the pastry place is in this church nunnery right next to that fountain. So if you do go, definitely go there. It's called Saint Christina, I think, and there's a beautiful church. But you can go directly to the bakery and forget the church. Your favorite way to unwind after a long day. That's kind of a loaded question. Last night I had a glass of champagne. I was really celebratory. And I just relaxed and didn't go anywhere. I'm staying in a new place that I love. And just was so happy to not go anywhere, do anything. I walked the dog. Often what I do is walk and then feel like I can relax after that. So I just made some dinner and had a couple glasses of champagne and then went to bed pretty early. I slept pretty well, even though I don't look it. I just woke up. I haven't prettied up. I'm only on my second cup of coffee, put some lipstick on, because I just, I'm reading these comments and it's like, no good deed goes unpunished. You're trying to help people find something great, and all they can do is be negative about pickpockets in Europe. It's like, that's not so bad. It's better than being shot at. I mean, Europeans are shocked about our gun problems over here. They just think we're nuts to put up with this stuff. We really got to change that. But anyway, make sure you're listening to somebody that knows what they're talking about. So I'm going to put it down below. If you ever want to do a one-on-one consultation with me, I can give you advice about the 34 countries I've been to and traveled in solo. And I can also, now Italy is a top country for me that I know a lot about and I've spent a lot of time. Another top country for me would be India, Cambodia, Bali, Thailand. Those are all places I've spent a significant amount of time in, several months. And and that makes a difference because when you're somewhere for a couple of days, you don't really know. And if you've never been there, you don't know. The last time I even talked to a travel agent was when I got this very good flight from the Philippines for a pretty low cost to the United States. I wasn't in the Philippines and I wouldn't have checked it. I was in Thailand. And that's the last time I spoke with a travel agent. I do all my own planning and plane tickets, booking, everything. So I've learned a lot. And the more you travel, the more you're going to learn, the more fun you're going to have. And if you want to come over and subscribe to my channel, come on over because you'll see a lot of videos from the places that I go, Europe, Asia, Mexico. I have a lot of top videos with over 50,000 views from different countries, so you can see what they look like, where I go, and get information for free. Oh, you should also come on over and join my Substack as a free subscriber. But if you're serious about traveling the world, you should be a paid subscriber because I do special videos for my paid people, my specials about particular advice on how to do it, your mindset, money, accommodation, everything. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for coming over. Thanks for your comments. And enjoy. Be safe out there because you need to be getting the right information, not from people that have never done what you want to do. When you're striking out on your own, and you're doing it courageously, you want the right information, not the wrong information from people that don't know what they're talking about. So I'll see you in the next video. Keep on traveling, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming over, Sophie.